can't do it today. I can't do it. Oh, stop. That's I'm going to do that in Hazard, Kentucky. But right now, I mean, sound like somebody.
Folks, we're in LA. We're in Burbank. Warner Brothers is right over there. CMOFO, sorry, but they sued John. So
they did not sue me. I sued. Well, they countersued, and why wouldn't they?
I don't know, because you were right.
You? Well,
because you were right.
This is not where we were going with this. Hey, everybody, this is Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John. And we're here in LA and having a ball. And
here, let's pick a camera. Click on your side. There we go. Well, no, I guess here. No. Okay, go over there. There we go. All right, so we're having a great time. We got to LA last night? No, night before last. Mm-hmm. Staying at this fantastic place that we've stayed before. I think we talked about it before. It's the Hollywood RV Park, but it's in Northridge, really. Not even mean Northridge. No, it's the other place that was in Northridge that said that they say they're the Griffith Park RV Park, but they're in Northridge. So you gotta be careful when you come here if you say the Hollywood RV, which is fantastic. It's been there since the end of World War II. In fact, there is a trailer there still that's been there ever since the end of World War II. I think the son of the man who lived in there before is still there. Anyway, it's a great place. It's Steve is a wonderful guy. Everybody who runs the place, it's stellar. It's beautiful. And it's kind of overgrown, which is unusual for an RV park because usually RV parks are kind of sparse. But this has beautiful plants, beautiful mature trees, which is, like I said, very unusual. And it's right. God bless these folks. This is one of the families that had the opportunity to sell out this property for ridiculous amounts of money, probably to a big box store. And they decided that their constituency, their customers, the people who've lived there, some of them who've lived there for 40 years, 50 years, they didn't want to have them be without a place to live. So they didn't sell out. And I just learned from Steve when the Pacific Palisades fire, all the fires happened here a month and change ago, a lot of the people who were displaced who happened to have campers or RVs, they made extra room for them, and they parked them over there at Hollywood RV Park. So thank you, Hollywood RV Park, not only you, Steve, just for being who you are, but for staying this way and caring about those of us who travel on these great roads of ours in an RV or pulling a trailer or in a cab over camper or however we do it. We greatly appreciate your sticking to it and sticking with us, you know?
Yeah, and we love the mom and pop businesses, and this definitely is one. John's been there many times, but this is only my second, and they are just working away the entire time, but they love it. And the other motorhome park where we were in Vegas was very fancy. It was lovely. It had
beautiful.
It had like a washer and dryer outside, kitchen outside, a stove, all of it. So we had that. I mean, and then the R&B's nice as well, and all the neighbors are wonderful. So we've had
it's a great way to
time.
go. You know, and a lot of people did it after COVID. A lot of people sold their homes and became, what do they call them, full-timers. So they live in an RV, they travel around, full-timers. I don't know what you do. We'll have to find out what you do with your, where is your residency when you do that? I'm not sure.
I guess you just pick one.
I mean, you change your residency?
Like at a cousin's or a who knows.
I don't know, but we're having a great time in the RV.
We are.
If you are RV people, then keep doing it. If you're not, you're thinking about it, you can go and rent an RV for a little while. But do the checkout drive around a parking lot somewhere before you get out on the street and become a projectile.
Oh, boy, my gosh. We had remember when we pulled out from Vegas and the wheels were not
we had an issue
and the
with
wheels were like this close to the ground for some reason. And some RV thing,
well, the
I'm
wheels
like, oh
are
my
actually
gosh, we're
on
going
the
to die. Because if we hit even a teeny tiny bump, we're like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, we had an issue where the airbags
rough.
didn't fill up. I'm not sure.
That was not good.
I didn't think that the RV would actually roll if you did that. And there's
bounced.
no button. It's supposed to happen automatically. So I pulled over finally because we're bouncing down the road, and it bounced so much that the very back of the RV is a closet with a coat rack with a
Yeah, all the clothes came off.
All the clothes came off. Anyway, all the clothes came off. It bounced that much. But we pulled over, and I said, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to run through the leveling process, and then the lift up the jacks and all that, and just see if it fixes itself. And it did, thankfully.
And you pulled into a gentleman's club.
I know.
There's something
I
cactus
pulled over the first parking lot
I
could find, and it happened to be the spearmint rhino.
Oh, the spearmint rhino,
Yep.
yes.
In the middle of the day, though, nobody was there. We didn't go in. We were just in the parking lot.
No, we're not going in.
But,
Never done that.
We were in a parking lot and used the leveling system, so the motorhome is bouncing around. There's no telling what people thought.
We had a ball. We had a ball in Vegas. We're here in LA not for a really long period of time, but tonight we have an event that is so amazing, and I think it's okay to mention because it's happening.
And then we have to
hours.
mention the golf club, the last golf course.
Oh yeah, all of it.
Vegas.
We've got a lot to talk about, and I appreciate all of you because you're always like, we want to hear about your travels and the restaurants and what you're doing, and people do enjoy it. So thank you for your comments, and we really are just having a great life, having fun. I never thought the RB would be that, but it is. It's beautiful, and we have a beautiful country, and we're having.
Oh my gosh, we came through Death Valley.
Oh, that was something.
And those of you who are on the Facebook page, you saw some of the pictures from Death Valley. It's amazing, But right now, in August, it's probably 140 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice, and John is an amazing driver. Of course, you all know that. But to get that RV through some of those passes, I was scared. I was worried about it. But John was like, no problem. He's used to it.
Better than that time we left Sedona.
That was rough. We had no shoulder, and we were on the mountaintop. And one little move, we were like rolling down the hill.
It was a really dumb thing.
That was not good.
But we couldn't turn around. We got to a spot where it said no vehicles over, I think, 35 feet.
Well, we're 45.
Yep. So we're a little over,
and it was dark,
and there was only one lane for a lot of the road.
And
I don't recommend it.
And the trick of doing that is you honk your horn going around the corner, and the horn stopped working. So it was super
That was
scary.
the other motorhome. The horn stopped working. The windshield wipers stopped working.
Not
all
good.
That kind of stuff.
The batteries fell out. So, yeah, we had
that was my fault.
Brand new, lovely, perfect motorhome. No problems.
Except the airbags didn't fill up the other day for some reason.
But you turn it off, turn it back on, like we do our phones.
Reboot.
We reboot. And sometimes you have to reboot. And
yeah, but if your phone messes up, it won't kill you.
Right. Yeah, that was.
So we got that working again. But we played golf at this great place in Vegas that's affiliated with South Point, which is a great hotel, casino. They've got like 10 restaurants in there, and that's where Don Vito's is. Don Vito's.
Yeah, we ate there several times.
Ooh, Don
really
Vito's
good.
has got this thing. They just call it relish that they give you with the bread service, and it's got big old chunks of garlic in it. It is so good. We took some home one night while we were in Vegas, and I scrambled it up with some eggs. Oh my gosh, so good. But we're playing this beautiful golf course, and look up, and there's if you want to order food, they've got this little sign up there, and you could order food from Duke's Bar. And I thought, oh come on, Duke's Bar, really? This is true. Sure enough, the guy that is I don't know if he owns the golf course or if he designed the golf course or if he's
I think he owns
the head. I think he's the head of the golf course in any event, and his name is Duke. So I thought that was pretty great. And as soon as we got there, just a good old boy. Yep.
Twice they did. And they do that a lot for John, but I think they kind of had it in the queue because it's called the Duke's Bar and the Duke's this and the Duke's that. So if there's a celebrity match or celebrity golf tournament, I'm thinking
I want to do
invited.
a golf cart race up there because the cart path is great and some of it's really steep and curvy, kind of like that hill in San Francisco. Can't remember what that's called. Garden Street. Anyway, I thought doing a golf cart race at Duke's golf course would be really a great idea. We get the NASCAR folks from.
And we had a ball there too. We mentioned it last week, but my gosh, we're still hearing about it. And then you were on the Sirius network for NASCAR, and so we've got a lot of those folks. And it was we've been very blessed. We've had a wonderful time.
And let's see, what else did we do with the motorhome? We were driving day before yesterday. We were out of Death Valley, and then we were on not quite on a major interstate yet. Oh no, yes we were. We're on a major interstate, and someone had gotten a flat tire in the fast lane,
Right.
and
It was not good.
and it stopped. And I guess a safety feature is that you can't start the car. Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because had he been able to start the car, because it just shut off, he would have been able to pull over, very carefully.
He's in a lane.
Yeah, but he was right next to the K rail, the median, and someone else stopped, and they were out there waving people down so that they wouldn't run in. That's a
into
big,
the car.
very common accident, is that people aren't paying attention, and there's a car stopped in the fast lane up in front of you. You don't see it, and you run right into it at full speed. So there was a guy from England, I think, and he was out there waving his arms. So we're there in this big motorhome, and I drove by, and I'm thinking, maybe we can go push the car. But anyway, I pulled the motorhome over and then turn on the flashing lights and turn on all the bells and whistles and backed it up a little bit so that there was very little. If you were driving down the road, you'd have to see what was going on.
No element of surprise.
Yeah. So we were able to help. We weren't able to push the car over because the front left tire was destroyed. And
But the police came soon after. So
yeah, the police were right there, and they said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Oh
Yeah,
no, we're just trying to help."
everybody was really sweet
We're trying
to
to
us.
help. But it is a good idea to. This is something my father would always do. He would always help people who needed it on the side of the road. Why? Because one of these days, and I have been the guy on the side of the road many times, it's nice to do that. So I think you should feed into that good car karma.
I get it, but it can be dangerous as well. There are some folks who do it, and they're not good folks. Now, this was clearly not a problem because you had people like waving folks over and whatever.
Yeah.
But there have been situations.
Middle
and
of the
it's
day
sad.
as well.
It's
Middle of the
sad
day.
that people do that and they carjack and all this crazy stuff. So you have to be careful. I mean, with you, don't worry about it too much.
Well, they say that oh gosh, I want to get this. I read a wonderful book years ago called The Gift of Fear, and they say that like 99% of it, if you see a problem and you go try to help somebody, you're 99% safe. If they're trying to flag you down, these people are not trying to flag us down, but if they're trying to flag you down, or if they initiate your desire to help them, be on guard. Doesn't mean don't help people. I mean, I believe that we should carry an extra. If you've got a pickup truck, why not put an extra gallon of gas in the back of it? Not in case you need it, but in case somebody else does. I mean, wouldn't that be great if you ran out of gas on the side of the road and somebody came up and said, "Hey, buddy, I got a gallon of gas here, $100." No, I got a gallon of gas here.
Well, but honey, I asked you, I said, do you have any cones or flares? Because I don't know what comes with the motorhome, but not that. But we should have a
No,
cone
it's a
or
good
a flare,
idea.
or whenever that is, to be helpful to others and to us if it happens.
Yeah. Carry fuel, carry a little water. I mean, especially if you have a pickup truck, why not? I do have some extra antifreeze in the motorhome just in case somebody needs it. I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good way to be a good citizen.
I don't think it's
Why
a
not?
problem with us, but women, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say, hey, stop
I don't
along
think
the side
I
of the
don't think
road and help someone. I'd worry about.
No, I don't think a woman
some of
out
my
on
girlfriends
her
to
own.
do
No,
that.
I'm not saying that. If you are with a group of people, or if you are some big burly smelly guy, carry an extra gallon of gas. Help somebody out. Why not? It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, but it was good. We felt good about trying to help these folks because they really were in the middle of the road and they were going to get hit eventually. So, but with the big motorhome with the flashing lights, it really was difficult to not realize something was going on.
Right.
So it was helpful.
So we were helpful just by nature of the size of the motorhome. It was we were able to help. I did not have a tow rope or anything, or I would have towed the guy. Anyway, the point is, just be a good citizen
when you can, when it's safe.
Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Don't do stupid things. However, don't let your fear or your belief that everybody is out to get you keep you from being a good citizen. Right, and we were talking about that I talked about that on Newsmax. I think we are experiencing some great leadership. There are some that don't, but I don't care. I think we're experiencing some great leadership. We had two people that the United States of America stranded in space And Elon Musk went and got them. I mean, he didn't go, so he brought his motor home.
great.
It's called a rocket, right? He brought his rocket and saved these people because the previous administration, I guess they knew how to get them up there, but they didn't know how to get them back. And that's absurd.
Well, that's
if it
helping
weren't
in a big
for
way.
if it weren't for Elon Musk's parents, I see a lot about his mother. I don't know anything about his dad, but I see a lot about his mother. Beautiful
woman.
Beautiful
model.
woman. But if he hadn't been raised to think that way, then those people would still be up there. They'd probably die up there. But now they're home. Okay, so what I was talking about on Newsmax the other day is that we are being given, I think, a really good example of what we're supposed to do as citizens of this country. So now is not the time. I say this in one of my songs. Now is not the time to hang it up and hunker down at home. No, we are being given an example of what we need to do in order to help each other be better citizens, be a better town, a better city, a better state, a better America. So we need to, This is not a suggestion, really isn't. We need to follow their lead and be helpful to other people. We need to help people in need on the side of the road. We need to open doors for people. We need to say, "Can I carry those groceries for you?" Okay. Now there are going to be bad people out there, but I
they're
don't.
going to El Salvador.
But I don't think I'm talking about like Target yeah.
They're there too. You have to be careful everywhere.
Okay, just stay home.
I didn't
Stay
say
home.
that.
Don't do anything.
I did not say that.
Lock your door and have them shove a pizza through the mailbox or something.
No, not what I meant.
What did you mean?
I'm just excited about everything. I mean, I'm right now.
Apparently not about helping people.
Well, hello, hazard. That's a big deal. That's a lot. We work on that every day. That is.
I know. Well, you work on it every day, and I know most of the chords and some of the words.
Well, that's very important since you're the show.
Actually, no, I know
since
some of
it's
the
your
words.
Concert, it's important, and you will get.
I know some of the chords and most of the words.
It'll be amazing. Everyone's excited about it in Hazard, and
I'm so excited. But you're right. Yeah, and she is the one doing all the work, and your kinfolk back in the holler.
No, the local
they're doing
team's
great.
amazing, and we're related.
And what is their name?
Napier. Yes.
Napier. So the
in
Napiers.
that area, a lot of Napiers.
So I just wrote. I did a Dee Dee read Earls of Perry. What'd you think?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I mean, you're such a great writer, and this is material that you feel comfortable with. Clearly, starting in at 18, that type of material. So it's really it's wonderful. I think people will love it. And going to Hazard and helping those folks out for real is a good kickoff. As soon as we finish, we have an event tomorrow night. And then Friday, we're going right back east. We're going to go to Hazard,
Well, the
Kentucky.
event is actually tonight.
Well, 2 events. We're
like
one
time
tomorrow.
travelers.
Oh, that's right. We are time travelers. Excuse me. And by the way, I love that show.
I turned Dee Dee on not only to Wild Wild West,
show.
but now I've turned her on to Irwin Allen's The Time Tunnel. And boy, if there's ever a television series that I think needs to be a movie franchise, it's The Time Tunnel. And the first one they wound up on the Titanic, and the second one they wound up in a rocket with Elon Musk going to. No, it wasn't. But it was funny that it was like that. They were going up there. And then the third one, where are they? They're in some mining disaster in the Old West.
Oh, that's right. We just started watching that, so that'll be the next show. But John turned me on to that show, which is amazing. And then Wild Wild West, which is getting funnier and funnier. They have Jim West doing some crazy things.
It's very much like Mission Impossible.
It is.
With masks and people pretending to be other people. It's really cool.
And then we watched that
I think
the other day.
happen around the same time. I think Wild Wild West and Mission Impossible with Peter Graves, by the way. Peter Graves was brother to Jim Arness, who was Matt Dillon on the television show Gunsmoke. So there's a little history there. And Gunsmoke was shot at CBS Radford, right here at CBS Studios here in the Valley, where Gunsmoke was shot. Wild Wild West was shot. Gilligan's Island was shot there. I did part of Dream House there. I did the Delta Burke show there.
Designing Women.
I did no. I think it was called the Delta Burke show. After
okay.
that, she did. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Which was fun because Delta's husband Gerald was the only actor I think to ever get just punched flat in the face during a stunt fight on Dukes. It wasn't me. It was Wopat, but Gerald leaned into it. You know, you're not supposed. You watch me fight on Dukes. I always touch the person on the shoulder first, unless they're behind me. But I'll touch the person on the shoulder first because I know that my fingers are further away than my fist will be, so I can't hit them. That didn't happen that day. We were in a cave, and Tom just whacked Gerald McCraney. Down he went. Oh my God! He wasn't in Simon and Simon yet. So it was a long time ago.
Simon and Simon, I forgot about that.
And he wasn't not the commish. What other show did Gerald do? He's great. He's great. But
he was. There was another show that. He's done a lot. He's a great actor.
Yes, he is.
Well, tonight, as you mentioned, because we are time traveling, you're going to be reunited with Kathy and Tom.
With Kathy Bach and Tom Wopat. We're going to see them tonight. And, gosh, we can't have pictures. We'll have to have pictures in next week's show. But we're doing this at the Hollywood Museum.
Yeah, we'll have pictures.
Your friend, Dee Dee One.
Yeah, Dee Dee One. She owns
my friend,
She's
too,
amazing.
but you've known her a long time.
Yeah, she's my mentor. And so there's the Dukes of Hazzard exhibit. There are a couple other shows involved as well, but Dukes of Hazzard, I'm going to say, is front and center. And we have been talking about it for a while, so there'll be General Lee there, John will be there, Kathy, Tom. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Right in Hollywood, California. How about that?
I know, it's going to be great. Last time we had the General Lee for our wedding party. We had the General Lee up on the sidewalk. So we'll see. We'll see where they have.
My guess is it's an exhibit, so I don't know if they're going to have the General Lee outside, then take it in because that.
Oh, that's right, because they've got that amazing elevator.
That's big enough for
the General Lee and a bar and like 50 people. So it's really great. If you haven't been to the Hollywood Museum, it's the old Max Factor building right behind, or it has a common wall with Mel's Diner there at Hollywood Boulevard in Highland. Check it out. It's a great place to go. Madame Tussauds and all that stuff is a lot of fun too. But the Hollywood Museum, I think, is kind of like the difference. The Universal Studio Tour is kind of a ride. And it's fun. It's got Brucey the Shark from Jaws, and it's got all that kind of stuff. But it's a ride. You don't really learn a whole lot about movie making. If you want to learn about movie making, go to the Warner Brothers tour. It'll take you back there to the Hazard Square, and it'll take you back to where, oh my gosh, I don't know if they have any Blade Runner stuff there or not still. But there's a lot of history there, and they take you, it's a walking tour, and you learn a lot about Ghostbusters and Dukes and the Gilmore Girls and the what are those
Are you talking
Steven
about
Soderbergh movies, Oceans 10, 11, and 12, whatever. Jerry Weintraub and Steven did those movies there. But that's where you go to learn. It's kind of like if you want to go and just look at some Hollywood stuff, go to Madame Tussauds and do that. But if you want to actually study Hollywood, the Hollywood Museum is a museum. It's not just an attraction. It is an attraction, but it's an attraction for those who really want to learn about Hollywood and about the environs around there.
Well, they have the props, and they have the clothes, and they have the cars, and they have anything and everything from a lot of these shows. They've got a wonderful Batman exhibit.
Oh, yeah.
The Batmobile, and it just goes on and on and on. So, and Dee Dee One is so particular about everything. There's nothing out of place. It is absolutely filled with artifacts,
memorabilia,
with things,
but also great information.
Yes.
You know, so you read about these things and read about these people, and you can see Abbott and Costello's Who's on First wardrobe, but also see their...
Abbott and Costello.
Oh, that's the night we met. Mm-hmm. Abbott and Costello did that.
Yes.
Hey, Abbott!
We've been laughing ever since.
We've been laughing ever since. Been scratching our heads ever since.
So, yeah, so you know... helping people and having a good time and trying to kind of change your mood about, you know, picking something fun to do, it kind of changes your world. Or we have found that out. We're very, very, very fortunate, and we have fun every day.
We do. And you can find this kind of fun wherever you are, really. We spent some time in Oklahoma City. We spent some time in Albuquerque. We spent some time in, you've seen pictures from us in Winslow, Arizona, Holbrook, Arizona.
But what I like, honey, is our friends, our friends will say, hey, since you're there, go here, here, and here. And they'll give a list. These
Even in Death Valley.
You all know what you're talking about.
Even in the Stovepipe Wells, right?
This
It was
gal
called
gave a
Stovepipe
list of
Wells.
6 things. Well, you can do this, this, this. I grew up in the desert. I'm not there now, but there's lots to do. And you look around, and it doesn't look like there's anything to do, but there is. So I love, love, love. Maybe my favorite part about the podcast, other than being with you, my dear, is the fact that we have friends talk about, oh, I did that, and why don't you do this too? And they give us advice, and then you all are always saying, hey, let us know about the restaurants and the sites and the history, and we love doing that. And we've been encouraged to do a show about it, and we probably will.
This is a show about it.
Well, I
What are you
know
talking
it,
about?
but just, we have talked about this before, compartmentalizing, like the travel or the food or whatever. We don't have to, but
You think you're going to figure out a way to focus this show into just one area?
I didn't say that. I said
You
that,
kind of did.
No, I said that it could be
Compartmentalize. We have different shows about different things. That means we have to stick on topic, and that ain't happening.
Well, that's a good point.
What was I saying? So even in
That's a good
even
point.
in overpopulated, crowded, traffic-laden Hollywood, we find
History.
the Hollywood Museum. Wonderful Hollywood history. We find the Roosevelt Hotel. Wonderful
And that's
Hollywood history.
block
a block
two,
away,
maybe
block
2
and a half.
blocks.
So you can come to a very populated place and still figure out something really unusual to do. So,
I've got one more.
excuse me. Well, yeah, Musso and Frank's,
One more.
Dan Tana's.
Well, yeah, that's West Hollywood, though. That's okay, because that's not
Yeah,
far
but-
either.
Right,
But
right.
I'm talking about the
Le
Hollywood
Petit Hermitage.
VFW. I'm talking about the American
Yeah, but can you
Legion.
go if
Not
you're part of the
sorry,
VFW? You
American
can go,
Legion.
but if you can't just go there as a civilian, can you?
You can go if you find a guest, which would probably not be too hard to do. But this building,
You find a host.
So right, a host. This building is so beautiful. A member. And if you ever get the chance to go to the Hollywood American Legion, my gosh, do it. It is like a fortress, but it is a fortress of. It's almost like you walk into the pyramids or something. It's so
It
beautiful
really is. It's
on
beautiful.
the inside,
Beautiful.
and it's like, wow, this is really something, right? You know,
It's right near the Hollywood Bowl, which is another amazing
Then
thing to
there's
see.
the Hollywood Bowl, and John
There's
performed
Ford's
at the
Theater.
Hollywood Bowl.
Ford's Theater is not far from. So, the point of this is that all of that great stuff is not gone. You know, a lot of people who are lazy just want to say all of these wonderful, amazing buildings and experiences are gone. You know, that's something my parents or my grandparents did. No, they're still there. You can still come to Hollywood and have an amazing Hollywood experience. And why not take a tour of the movie stars' homes? Why the
you know
hell
what?
not?
Honey, I'm telling you, I am a tour geek. I love all tours. I am that person. I will go on the TMZ bus. I will go on the ABC bus. I
I'm a
will
lawyer.
go on the. I love him. And the Warner Brothers.
Harvey.
The Warner Brothers tour. I want to do it all. I am that geeky, touristy person. I can't help it.
Well, it's
but
a
if you
good
go
thing
with
to do.
John, then everybody's like, hey, and then it changes things.
It's a great thing to do. So you can find that wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you are. I guarantee you they're historical. We call them hysterical markers. There are hysterical markers in your town or down the street from wherever you live. And don't be one of those people that doesn't like where you live, but you really haven't seen it. You know, there's a lot of people will go someplace and go, oh my gosh, this is great. And we'll be at a bar somewhere. Imagine that. We'll be at a bar playing a game of pool and we'll say, this is great. We saw this and that. Oh yeah, well, just, I've been here my whole life and it's just, well, okay. But you still live in a pretty amazing place wherever you live.
In our country, every place
It's kind of up to
really
you.
can find. I mean, some places aren't quite as safe as you'd like for them to be. Well, you just have to be careful.
They're getting safer every damn day.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Tom.
That's right, and he doesn't mean Tom Wopat.
I don't mean, no, I'm not, I don't mean Wolpat's
Yeah, it
punching
doesn't mean
everybody.
that they're getting
Tom
in
Holman,
fights or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's just a happy time. I mean, maybe not everyone agrees, but we're just elated. And we do try to find the fun things and the historical things in markers or whatever in every town we go through. And some people are like, oh, we're always in bars. Well, whenever you go through town, that's the easiest place. What are we going to do? Go to church on Tuesday night? They're not open. Are we going to go to that particular VFW or the library where we don't have the library card? The thing about the bars, saloons, taverns, hey, everybody's happy and people welcome you. So that's what
right.
we do. And we are in the liquor business. Don't forget that. We are absolutely full on in the liquor business. And that's part of the allure of the libations. Now, should you overdo it? No. Do people overdo it? Yes. Do we overdo it sometimes? Yes. But we're pretty good. Like we've had like this
Very
much.
seldom.
This much.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way,
this, by the way, is from Mad Paddle in Madison.
That's right. Madison,
And
Indiana.
they make
We
this.
haven't
They
been
make
there
this.
for a
And
while.
it's now.
I think it's pretty good. It just needed like a little ice, I think. Tawny Port is what it is at Mad Paddle. And
it's
they
honey
make,
port bourbon, though, right?
I don't.
Is it
remember.
a bourbon?
The bottle is back.
The
out
bottle's
there.
back that
Yeah.
way. We'll check it. No, it's really good, but it at first, because I was expecting a bourbon taste like Buffalo Trace, like Woodford Reserve, like I was
But
expecting
they start
that.
with Tawny Port,
But
and then
there's
it's
some.
a different
Well,
taste.
when you say that's Tawny Port, now that makes sense because that kind of citrus, I guess, is.
I think it tastes kind of like a port. I
Yeah.
think it's good. I like
So
it.
should it be if it's a port, like a port wine? So should it be
think
in a snifter? I mean,
It's
should it be
it's
in a?
bit, well, yeah. I mean, we're here at the studio.
It's
so we
important
kinda
what
have
you
we
drink
have.
your drink
Oh, it
out of.
absolutely is. I cannot
She
stand
does not decant
plastic
anything.
and-
She will not decant red wine because she said, this is a beautiful bottle of red wine, and that thing just is the inside of that decanter is coated with Cascade.
And I would love
why would
to
I
know
pour?
what you
Why
all
would I
think.
pour $150 bottle of wine into a glass full of Cascade soap?
Right. And they do that.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, whenever it's a very expensive bottle of wine, which we will, do that here and there.
But you can decant the hell out of Boone's Farm, and it'll help it.
But to me, that's the point. It's reversed. Oops. It's reversed because if you have this beautiful bottle of wine and you want to put it in a decanter they just ran through the dishwasher in the back,
I agree.
no.
It's
And
in a
there have
bottle.
been-
It's already in a decanter.
No.
Kind of.
I went it purely out of the bottle in the glass. In the glass, it's beautifully rinsed out and perfect because glass does matter, plastic does matter. What you put your drinks in matter. So no decanter for us. We don't do that. But do you? You may prefer it.
Well, now, if it was our own and we cleaned it, see, because you do, if you think of a bartender in the Westerns or something, you think, they're back there cleaning out the glasses, right? Well, they do that with the wine glasses, and in Blazing Saddles, they go, and then they clean. I know, but it's Blazing Saddles for crying out loud. Shot right across the street, by the way. But I think if we were at home, would you use a decanter or no? Still not.
I'm
No?
old school. I like
I
it
thought a
right out-
decanter was
I like
old
it right
school.
at the bottom. In fact, bottle just like that works too. No, I'm joking. I really don't do that. I don't like to do that, but I have seen people do it, and it's like if there's nothing
the
else.
grape needs to get the grape needs to get air
Well, yeah,
into
but that's
it, right?
why you kind of move the glass around and.
You swirl it, but
Yeah.
don't bruise it. Okay, what's the difference between swirling? How do you know if you've swirled too much?
I don't think you can. I'm for swirling and bruising and whatever. I just don't want it in a decanter that had like
If
palm
only we
olive
could
in
cut
it.
to a commercial.
I don't want a decanter that was washed with palm olive. You got to wash it with something, and I don't want that wine going in that glass container.
Okay.
That's all. So anyway, we
All right.
beat that dead horse. Speaking on The Godfather, it's like the 46th year.
We weren't speaking of The Godfather.
I know, but I just said beating the dead horse. Remember that when they put the dead horse
They put a horse's head in the bed, yeah.
The bed. So, but The Godfather, it's like 46 years old, like your show, like Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, The Godfather is older than that.
I know. No, it's 40-something, right? It's
No, I think it's
40-something years old?
50-something, because
Oh.
Dukes is 45 years old.
Really?
That's
45 years
That's
old.
right.
That was a long time
It
ago.
happens. And the Earls of
people
Perry will
still
be
love it.
when the Earls of Perry is 45 years old. Somebody on a cloud is going to have to tell me about that.
Age is just a number.
Gosh, I just had something really important to say.
Well, you'll think of it.
I don't think so.
You will.
I lost it.
But we do appreciate your suggestions.
I wanted to show. Yes, we do. I'm sorry. Pardon me
Thank
for
you.
that, but I
That's okay.
remembered it. So because of the NASCAR event, all kinds of people are talking now online anyway, which gives me the illusion that these two movies matter, and I think they do. But people are talking about Stand on It and Poker Run. So I think that's pretty great. And one thing we never do on this show, we never really promote anything of ours. So I want to, if you're a Smokey and the Bandit fan, then I want you to watch this trailer. This is Stand on It. This is a movie that is as if John Schneider got bet $500,000 that he couldn't do for real what Burt Reynolds did for pretend in Smokey and the Bandit.
I think your movie's better.
Well,
After
thank
you
you.
have me watch
I
the
think
old
the trailer.
movie,
I think Poker
you're
Run.
better.
Poker Run is better than Smokey and the Bandit 2. But then again, The Room was better than Smokey and the Bandit 2. And for those independent film aficionados, yes, I know what The Room is. But check out this trailer, and then in the comments, let me know if you've seen this or not, and if you like it or not. It's called Southern Horsepower Comedy. This is what Earls of Perry is going to feel like. Watch this.
Maven Entertainment presents a John Schneider film, Stand on It, a tribute to Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham's Smokey and the Bandit.
Let's haul ass.
John Schneider as the Duke.
Even if the beer is legal where we pick it up, you got to have a permit to transport it back across state lines. And you got to be a distributor. And last time I checked, you ain't.
Cody McCarver as Roy.
My name is Roy and I like to drive.
Get in, why don't you?
Oh, you're cute.
Mindy Robinson as Fred.
Papa, you in the wrong lane.
Dion Baya as Sonny.
Dealing with here is a total lack of respect for the law.
And Tyrus as Sheriff Cletus T. Necessary. Things are about to cook, and things are about to rock. In John Schneider's Stand on It. It's action-packed. Car chases. Car jumps and crashes.
He is very good. You are really bad.
Hilariously funny. 400 cases of bootleg beer.
Let's collect the money, so stand on it, son.
And they're headed eastbound and down, and it's good fun at its finest.
Hell no.
I ain't had this much fun since I watched the Dukes of Hazzard every day after school. Ain't a shoe, dipstick.
Mike Cook as Roscoe number 1 and Johnny Rock as Roscoe number 2. Smell what Rock and Cook are cooking. These two dipsticks may just get her done catching the Duke.
And only Frosty that you know what here, Duke boy.
Come on, son. We're burning daylight.
Let things cook and rock at your home by buying or renting John Schneider's Stand on It right now.
Wow.
What?
I can't tell you how excited
Stand
I was
on
to be
it.
the stand on it. I
Just
can't tell you how
stand on
excited
it.
I am to be the guy in the red shirt. Because when I was 16, I was in Smokey and the Bandit. We'd been to that whole thing. I was on the set and all that. But when that movie came out and Burt Reynolds was driving that cool-ass car, wearing that red shirt and that cowboy hat, everyone my age dream was to be that guy. And then I got to be that guy later. So I'm excited to know what you think of that movie, because that's going to be a lot what like. I can't. It's going to look a lot like Earls. No,
beginning to
Earls of
look
Perry
a
is
lot
going to
like-
look a lot like that. Christmas. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy that, and I guarantee you that Poker Run is better than Smokey 2. I'm sorry, Hal. I'm sorry, Bert, but you know it's true.
It is true.
And for the 4 of you out there that have a problem with the fact that I made a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit, number 1, I was in Smokey and the Bandit, kind of. I talk my way into it. And number two, Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham were very dear friends of mine, and it was my Lamborghini in Cannonball Run 2. So what did you have to do with either of those movies, any of those movies? Nothing. So I come by the ability and the honor to do a movie that is a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit. I come by that quite naturally because Burt was a car guy and I'm a car guy. So there you go. Don't watch it.
Honestly, you didn't watch Star Trek because you never want to be in the red shirt on Star Trek because you die. That guy
Ensign,
gets whacked every time.
Ensign Jones
that guy's
or whatever.
gone. He's wearing the red shirt in Star Trek. Forget it. It's over. That guy's dead.
They're always the same
Forget
size,
it.
too, because they only had one red shirt.
Exactly. So good for you, bad for Star Trek. No red shirt.
Do you think that these new shows I'm showing you, they were done at the same
You
time
mean the
as Star
old
Trek?
shows that are new to us?
Well, new shows
new
for
to
you.
me? Oh, I
but
love
Time
them.
Tunnel and Wild
Yeah.
Wild West, they kind of feel like
Totally.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I agree. I love them. I think they're wonderful. They're very, I mean, Wild Wild West is so stylized. I mean, it's so beautiful. And I mean, now it seems like there are so many shows and they kind of barely do them. There's too much. It's definitely quantity, not quality anymore. So to
Well, you
see
know what
these
happened?
shows, it's really amazing.
You know what happened? I can't believe I'm still bitching about this because I've been bitching about it for like 30 years. There was a show called Police Story when I was a kid. It was amazing. It was wonderful. And it was not an expensive show, so they did a lot of handheld camera stuff, which also added a kind of immediacy to the storytelling. So when you have a camera on a tripod like this, we have a camera on a tripod. We have several cameras on tripods. It's stationary, and you know that we're doing this in a controlled environment. Well, in Police Story, they were handheld. It wasn't a steady cam. It was handheld. So it was jerky, and it looked like they happened to capture the action on film when it happened. It was, and I don't ever use this word, it was brilliant. The same person, gosh, I wish I could remember his name. There's a movie called The New Centurions. You can check out. George C. Scott is in it. I think, I think David Soul is in it. But it was the same writer. But what happened after that is people started using that same thing to add immediacy to a less than interesting script. And a lot of television today, or whatever, I don't even know if there is such thing as television today, but a lot of these procedural shows today kind of, what we used to say,
I'm
we
yawning
old
for a
folks say,
reason.
well, then go over there and take a nap.
No, procedurals, not you.
Oh, okay.
about
Oh,
the
yawning.
procedural,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they will try to add excitement to a just a bad script, a bad story. So that's what you see a lot of today. Except for what are we loving now? Reacher.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It's a little violent, but it's good. It's well done. And he's gigantic.
He is gigantic.
He's
He was
gigantic.
Alan was Aquaman on Smallville.
Of course he was.
Yeah, of course he was. That was probably 80 pounds ago.
He's huge.
And 80 pounds ago, Alan was like, "Rah." And I never worked with him on Smallville, sadly. He was during the, I guess, kind of the Justice League part of Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
But love the show Reacher because I read all the books. So if you are a Reacher fan and you've not read the Child's books, the Reacher series, please do. They're amazing. So what they've done with Reacher is they've taken a single book and made a whole season of the television show out of it, which is great because normally they would have truncated the whole story and tried to tell it in an hour or make a movie like the Tom Cruise Reacher movies. And Tom Cruise is great, but Tom Cruise is not 6'5" and 280 pounds, and Jack Reacher
He's 5'6".
is in the books. Jack Reacher is a monster of a guy, and Alan Richman is a monster of a guy. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. If you have seen it and you haven't read the books, or get an Audible program and listen to the books, please do. They are amazing. Childs, oh my gosh. And now he's writing with his son. And they're writing more Reacher stuff with his son. But the television show Reacher is taken from the first couple of books. I think they're on season 4 now on Reacher. So the first 4 books might not be in the proper order, but Killing Floor was the first one. So check it out and read the books.
Well, you know,
do you read books?
I have a history degree. What do you think? That's
well, I know.
all.
Okay, well then you have read books in the past.
Yes.
But do you read books now?
Yes,
I've never
of
seen you
course.
read a book.
What are you talking about? Well, because I get up at 5, you get up at 10. I get up at 4, you
That's
get
true.
up at 9. I mean, I'm up 4 or 5 hours before you. That's when I get my reading in.
Let's get you a Reacher.
Because
We could
it's
listen. We
quiet,
could
and that's why I
listen
read.
on Audible. Because there's a guy that I can't remember the guy. Please forgive me. The guy that reads the Reacher books on Audible is great.
It should be you. You have a
It
beautiful
should
voice.
be me. I don't understand why.
Well,
I
soon.
don't understand why. I don't do more commercials. I mean, come on, Sam
They're
Elliott.
coming. My
They
voice is
should
terrible.
be.
My,
I mean, I was a Home Depot guy for a year.
You have a great voice.
Big deal.
I should just do cartoons.
All right, everybody, close your eyes and see if you remember this. Close them. You, close your eyes. Okay. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. There we go.
That
was
sounds
me.
just like you.
It does sound just like me. You know why? Because it is me, and it was me. But not anymore. I don't know.
It's coming. It's all coming back. I'm telling you. Look, I won't even get into the details, but the phone's kind of ringing off the hook.
The devil's
for
in
John
the
Schneider.
details.
So we're trying to be selective and careful about what we're doing. But there's a lot going on, and John is having a renaissance. I mean, look, nothing was bigger than back in the day, Dukes of Hazzard.
Back in the day.
When it was 3 channels, and there were like how many millions of people watching the show?
29 million a week.
See,
average.
Now
Average.
there was so much
That was great.
streaming, so many channels.
And then
so
Smallville
much
was
whatever
like
going
6
on.
million people a week. You know, the
Which was good.
What people.
But-
What? Sorry.
No, it was good, but it's just different now.
It is different. There's the same amount of people, but here's the pizza. When Dukes was on, there were 3 slices.
Yep. Or UHF.
When
whatever.
Smallville was on, there were 1,000 slices.
Mm-hmm.
We did really well for 1,000 slice pizza. The pizza's the same, the audience is the same, but there's 1,000 things to watch. When Haves and Have-Nots so Dukes of Hazzard was a number 1 show. Smallville was a number 1 show, or at least top 5. Haves and Have-Nots was absolutely a number 1 show. Tuesday nights, Temptation Tuesday. But by the time we got to the Haves and Have-Nots, there was 2,500 or 5,000 slices to the pizza. So I go out and I do. We did the NASCAR event, and the Dukes of Hazzard folks. There's a lot of them. There were a couple of Smallville folks, but I'm here to tell you, the Haves and Have-Nots fans, those women we met at the very end, they were like they had just won a
Quite
car and a
enthusiastic.
refrigerator on The Price is Right because they saw Jim Cryer. And what an honor it is to be able to elicit that kind of response in someone. They were delighted. Smallville people were delighted to meet Jonathan Kent. The Dukes of Hazzard people, I mean, I'm in a very enviable position. I am so honored to have been around so long. And I think that Dukes of Hazzard was one of the greatest shows, of the top 5 greatest shows of all time. I really do. It still stands up.
Yeah, but that's just
I think Smallville is the best part of Superman. And I think the Haves and Have-Nots is the best show or movie or anything of any kind that Tyler ever did. And I was involved in all 3 of them. I'm a very fortunate person. How much time do we have left, baby?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'd have no idea.
You got like 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
And a
I'm going to set a
partridge
timer. You
in
go
a
ahead and
pear
talk.
tree.
You go ahead and talk. I know that's hard for you to do.
Well, all I know is, we are married, so we do interrupt here and there. But some people are so mean and hateful. I have to tell you,
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm about to tell you. There was this one comment about, Why do you always wear hats? Are you bald? Are you bald? Are you bald? I'm like, and this poor woman who has cancer, by the way, is bald and she wears hats, so it hurt her feelings. So look, folks, try to be a little nicer. And if you're not, you don't need to follow us. If you want to be that way, look, I am totally not bald. I've got hair galore. But I also...
Shake your head like that.
But I have also had skin cancer where my hairline was destroyed, basically, and it was deep. They had to cut a lot out, so that was not fun. So that kind of got me on the hat brigade. And people are, I don't know why. Why would you be so hateful? I don't care. But this woman did, and it upset
There's
her.
only a couple.
Yeah,
There's only a couple.
For the most part, it's like
look in that lens
99% people are really great. But those who are not, you don't just go. You want to go to the mean podcast, you want to go to the hateful people, enjoy that. But most of our folks are really lovely. And they want to talk about travel, they want to talk about a great life, they want to talk about love, they want to talk about things that, make you feel better. And some just want to be critical. And it's like, go ahead. You want to be a nasty person, you want to be negative, that's fine. But we're not going to do that. We're very happy. And
but we'll call you out.
Well, yeah.
We will call you out.
Well, if you are an illegal stabbing people and raping them, we're going to call you out.
What in the hell is going on with that? Why in the world?
We will call that out.
Are there people who are defending illegal criminals' rights to be here? Why would you do that? You're illegal. Why would you support people who go to an Apple store and steal a laptop, but because it's only $1,499, they have every right to take it because they must have needed it? What are you thinking? We have people who are
how about living in trailers in Hazard, Kentucky, that have no money and whatever, and
because they just lost everything.
They've lost everything because they had not one flood but two, and people died in these floods. They were in the creek, like floating down the creek, dead. It was very, very serious there. And then you've got these people, and I'll say, mofos can be Mary frogs. I don't know, but you all know what I mean.
Wait, I don't know what you mean.
What mofos
Mary
mean?
frogs?
Well,
I know what mofo
can
means.
Mean anything you want, but
Mary frogs. Okay, mofo. I know what mofo means.
What's it mean? See, you're not going to say it out loud. That's why I said Mary
It
frogs.
means there is no longer less foe. There is mofo.
Right. So these people come in and they basically steal $899 or $1,200 or whatever the limit is. Whenever the limit is, and they get away with it while these folks in Hazard are really struggling.
Oh, while the last administration gives them $700. Here's $700. Here's an interesting thing. So the last administration went through Ashland, North Carolina,
and they
went through
them.
Virginia, went through Florida, went through the places that got flooded and said, here's $750. I think it was $700, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Here's $750. Go with God. We love you, right? Okay.
Well, USAID.
So now come 6 months later, 4 months later, well, we got somebody named Elon who says, hey, we should give everybody $5,000. The same people who were bitching about, the same people who were applauding about $750 are now saying, well, I really don't know what anybody could do with $5,000.
Everybody would love to have
What
$5,000.
in the hell? Get your story straight. Do you care about people or not? Are you a human being or not? Are you part of the human race? Or are you just some sort of a scum-sucking parasite who wants to bitch about every good thing that anyone has ever done because they're not on your side?
Well,
maybe you should consider not being on your side. Okay, because as far as I can tell, what's happening right now, these people, these policies are for the better of us. Explain to me where I'm wrong. Please do. Please tell me where I'm wrong. Some idiot from a newspaper gets in on a private call and now wants to bitch about what the content of the private call was.
And then certain people who ran for president that started with Hill and ended with Ton, they took their server to their freaking bathroom and then they wiped it and then they beat it with a hammer. Oh no, that's okay though. Remember?
Oh God. Yeah.
Really?
Why is that okay? And what amazes me right now is that even though the lights have been turned on, the roaches are scattering, but even roaches are smart enough to scatter to the dark places and shut the hell up. These roaches are still bitching and complaining and pointing fingers. I don't understand it.
I mean, there are some that are very quiet right now, and they're smart to be. But others, AOC.
Oh, my God. Give me an ever-loving break.
Telling illegals, do this, and this, and then all of a sudden...
Oh, no, she said, I just told everybody. I didn't specifically tell illegals. Okay, well, Tom, not Wopat, Homan, Tom is going to get to the bottom of that, because what she was doing was she basically put up, not a Facebook, like if you get advice, if you're in the workplace, there's a cork board and people say, here's some advice or here's a car for sale. So she was posting information on how illegal, I don't know why they call them citizens. They're not citizens.
No, they're aliens.
They are illegal. If I sneak into Mexico, I am not a citizen.
You're going to jail.
Right, excuse me. If I go anywhere in the world, and here's what please understand this. If you go anywhere in the world, you can't get in without a passport and a visa.
How about you can't get into a county courthouse without an ID?
Well, with the ID thing, that whole thing is so absurd, but you cannot go anywhere in the world without passport and a visa. And your visa tells you how long you can stay there. Mm-hmm. If you outstay your visa, if I'm supposed to leave France today, if I'm supposed to leave Charles de Gaulle Airport today, because that's the last day on my visa, and I get mugged and I can't leave until tomorrow, when I get there, they can put me in jail.
Absolutely.
So why on God's green earth are we or they so concerned with people who have illegally entered this country? And I heard somebody, I think it was Tom, said yesterday, it was somebody on Newsmax. It might have been Greg Kelly, but they said basically, look, if you are here illegally, you've already
broken the law.
So you're already
a
criminal.
Get over it.
You're a criminal.
And what these folks have
said, these people who aren't criminals are being deported. That's bullshit. If you are here illegally, you're a criminal. Now, if you're here illegally because you killed 47 people in your home country, and now you're killing people here, you're an illegal criminal murderer who will be prosecuted. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how anybody can argue with that. I just don't get it. Unless, this is the kind of crime that happens to other people. What if your daughter was raped and killed on her way home from the library in a small town somewhere because the Biden administration let 21 million frickin' criminals into our country? Is it okay because, it was only one girl in one small town? These are the things that they said about Aurora, Colorado. It's only one apartment complex that's been taken over by Venezuelan gang members. Only one apartment complex? Are you out of your fucking mind? It infuriates me.
So we've got, 3 minutes left?
Because crime is not something that only happens to other people. Crime is something, God forbid, that happens to you, and it happens to me, it happens to her, it happens to us. We need to do everything that we can to make our country, our state, our town, our city, our block, our household as safe as possible. That is what we are supposed to do. That is what our elected officials are supposed to do. They are supposed to keep the peace. And if they refuse to, if they do a bad job, then we made a bad vote. But if they refuse to do it, which is what AOC is doing, what all these folks who are in favor of the murderous people who have come in illegally to our country, these folks are more in favor of protecting them than they are of protecting us. And they must not continue to be in a position of power. Next time you get to vote, you get these bastards out of here.
So
because they don't care. I'm sorry, they don't care about you. And it's not me saying it. It's them saying it. It's them saying it. My God, look at what they've done. They're going after Eric Adams because he had the tenacity. He had the balls. He had the audacity to say, I don't want illegals in New York City anymore. Now, I'm not a big Eric Adams fan, but that's all he did was he said, I'm going to help the Trump administration get these bad people, not suspected bad people, and that's where the gray area is. We don't suspect them. They've already been convicted and sentenced in other countries and then sent here.
Well, the rapists and murderers are first. And then from there, you kind of pick it apart.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. We're out of time.
But let's real quick plug Hazard again. And
come on out to Hazard, Kentucky.
Please look at John's Facebook, my Facebook. Look.
And if there's an e-tix thing there, so get the tickets from the proper place. If somebody says, hey, I love John Schneider, and I bought tickets, but I can't go, would you like to buy my tickets? Stay away.
Stay away. So you've got a link where you can buy the tickets and also a link where if you can't go and you want to contribute, great, to help these folks out.
But make sure that it's
need
that.
the help.
Yeah, yes, please do. Do your research before you donate to these folks. Because we're not getting anything to do it. In fact, it's costing us a lot to do it. But it's the right thing to do. Okay, it's the right thing to do.
But we don't want scammers to get the money instead of the flood victims. That would be the big
Oh, God. And by the way, I know we're late, but by the way, I keep getting this thing on my phone that says it's my last chance to settle up some...
Of course it is. It always is.
Some toll booth thing that I went through. And I almost paid it. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. I understand how the toll booth has my license plate, but how in the world would a toll booth have my phone number?
Folks, never click on the link. John is not on Telegram.
Don't do it.
John has one Facebook page. Don't click on any links. Don't look at anything else. That's it. So
I'm never going to ask you for money. I will try to sell you DVDs and movies and shirts. I will do that because I have a store. And I'll try to sell you moonshine. We love you. We're glad that you're part of this insane conversation. Go out and enjoy the area where you live. If you've got a little bit more gas, go out and enjoy a couple of states over. Have a wonderful time. We live in the greatest country in the world. We're going to be right in the middle. No, you got to come all the way over here. Get over here. We live in the greatest country the world has ever known. However, it's up to us to keep it that way. Now's not the time to hunker down at home, okay? This is our country. We have to keep it great. We have to keep it amazing, and that starts and ends with you. You take care. This has been Drinks with Dee Dee.
And John.
That's me.
Love you.
Bye.
See you next time.